especially on the sevens game. That one's gone straight to hand. Huge miss for Hong Kong. It's going to be turned into points for Uganda. Under the post for Norbert Okenye, straight off the bench, straight in the tries.
Route 1. Norbert Okenye, see you later. That is a bump. Sit down. What a carry. Gets over the line. We're disappointed not to kick on yesterday. Today, a new day.
Yeah, great.
Beautiful stuff.
Oh, look at that. That's Michael Okoroch, the 32-year-old, hurdling like that. And they've created the overlap. Casito with his hands on it. He's back himself. Still going. The crowd are cheering him on. 22 meters to go. Adrian Casito responds for Uganda.
You look at this as a pre-round of 16 progression, all important. Every game is a knockout.
They've got up early. Let's see if they get the reward and what would be a massive upset if Uganda were to hold on to this one. As you alluded to, Samoa in outstanding form on the series. Just lost in extra time to New Zealand last time out in the Cup semi-final in Los Angeles. DHL delivers and the ball is there.
The series only got 1 point when they came back in
to cause the upset here. Another dangerous man, Foroth. It will be Uganda to kick off here to start us in the pre-round of 16 qualifying match here. Game 3 here in Cape Town. Oh, that one spilled after the successful tap. Everybody's slipping. It's a wet surface. It'll dry out pretty quickly with this heat, Rob, but there's been a lot of slippage.
It has been. Players looking at foot plate options, puts the ball in behind. One thing that Samoa do more than any other team is that kick chase. Score many tries from it. Really good putting the ball on the foot. Before they're able to just coast to the sideline, get the ball now. Once again, we're seeing a bit of Uganda ball. All they got to do is get the ball to Philip Wakarach. He'll do the rest.
Well, gone are the days going way back to this Rugby World Cup of Sevens to '93 where there's sweepers in place. Most teams don't play without a sweeper, so they're vulnerable to that kick. Well executed line out from Uganda. Foyroth goes wide. Squaring up. This is good early possession. A little bit tentative out wide. Successful ruck, and the Samoans back themselves at the ruck. They're not the biggest team out here, but very physical and very committed. Like to disrupt. Short ball is offered, isn't given. There you see that counter ruck from the 3 men in blue. And then the diving tackle wins the knock on an advantage for Samoa. Another slip. It's almost like these players didn't prepare the right footwear for this surface. Looking for the outside. There's Niue. He's brought back. That's bobble, and advantage being played. Quick tap from Casito. Can Casito get a bounce? He's got his hands on it. Keeps it alive. It's back to Munyana. What a moment this will be for Uganda. They go wide. It's a one-on-one battle. Okoroch comes back infield. Keeps that ball alive. Uganda threatening at the line. Show and go off the right foot twice. The flip pass right down the middle, reaching for the line. Okoroch, try Uganda.
Oh, elated scenes. Look at this, shout it out. Means so much to the players to start well in these games, get that momentum behind you, and it's again another slip. You mentioned it, Reece. Matavao has had 3 touches. It's fallen over 3 times. The ball's on the floor, then it's reactionary. Who can pounce the quickest? In behind. Casito gets it. Then you see a Foyworth a few times. Matavao trying to be a pest in the middle. Probes and goes. The scenes back in Uganda will be outrageous. But that is a quality start.
Extras are good. Really good discipline too. They didn't panic when they got that loose ball. And the celebration, looking up to his fans. Michael Okoroch says, how do you like that?
This team are something special, aren't they?
Well, we're hoping to see that later on in the weekend here. This home of the 2010 Soccer World Cup is now rugby all weekend. Rugby World Cup of Sevens, and of course, if you're just joining us, it's one and done. If you don't win in your qualifying round of 16 match, then you cannot win the World Cup title, the Melrose Cup. Samoa finally got their hands on it, but it hasn't been very clinical from them. A lot of passes not going to hand. Now it's over the top. 2-man overlap for the moment on a side. Drops it back, Afasua. Credit the Ugandans, they're blitzing that defense. That tackle was a little high.
Yeah, can't go anywhere near over the shoulder. Got to be
Friday morning here in Cape Town. This is the pre-round of 16. Samoa and the Blues went down early to a tough Ugandan side, but they clawed back with 2 tries. So they're up by 1 converted try at the moment, our Samoa. Again, a scrappy kickoff. Knocked forward.
Samoa 0 from 3 from the restarts. Managed to get that one. History. Matavao once again delivering.
As we say, it's a very young Samoan side that have come together. Brilliant grab there from Kasiga. Gives his team a chance to get back in this one. 5 minutes to play. 1 broken tackle. The sweeper does his job on that occasion, and the big man's off and running. Michael Okoroch still going. 22 meters. He's still pounding. He's going for the corner. Can he get it down? I don't think so. The referee's going to have a little look upstairs.
He did everything. You very rarely see Samoans sat down.
Stand by, Gianluca.
Yes. And it was the spin that did it. But this is the ending. Didn't look great naked eye. What a split shot we got. Like to see body reactions.
Tough to see. Let's have a look there. Oh, he's short on the line. I wonder if, because this surface is a little bit wet, if he could have just hugged it and slid in.
Gianluca, we have a decision.
Yes, Matthew.
The ball is knocked on in the field of play.
Yeah.
So scrum 5 to Blue.
Corner flag cam coming in good there. Because it's short the line, it's going to be a scrum back. That is most definitely a chance. So close. There's still a chance in this game for them.
So backed up right to their own line. Samoa's just going to conventionally kick for the sideline. They haven't found it. Ooh, it's been whipped out open field. Actually brilliantly played. And they're still going. The tip ahead from the big man. That's Philip Okoroch. He's just overcooked it.
Well, a couple of quite confusing kicks there from. It's not quite sure why Samoa looking to clear lines when they're a possession-based team. Didn't make the sideline. Play getting a bit of treatment in the middle.
Possession by Samoa there. Let's see if there's anything off the ball.
I think it's just a bit of a boot to the face. Yeah, never nice to get those. The flailing foot. With floor, you keep that ball alive. It's more hard to try and stop the attacking flow. It's something Fiji pride themselves on, being sub-1.
Okay, advantage offside.
So advantage being played. Samoa in control of this game. 3.5 minutes to play. And they got their hands on the ball. Up 2 converted tries.
Advantage over.
Kicked into space. He's going to win the foot race. Can he get a bounce? He needs another left-footed nudge. Working back.
No, play on.
Is Ofarov. So, for the moment, Uganda's won the day. Oh, great work.
Tackle.
Releasing the ball and getting to his feet. Bought his teammates time to get back and win that ruck. Now Uganda do have a chance here.
Pass is good.
As we said, 2 scores in it right now. The step and
Clearly
go
steps on the ground.
from Okoroch. Another slip. Munyani keeps it alive. Again, this Ugandan side much bigger than the Samoans. That'll do it. That's the final whistle. A brave Uganda goes down to Samoa at 33 points to 7.
Next game coming up at Uganda against Korea.
In Cape Town, Rugby World Cup 7s has hit town. We're here in Cape Town Stadium, and this one is the bowl quarterfinal, Uganda and Korea. But what a moment for these teams. It's World Cup action. Led out by Okoroch and Wanyang Park, the Korean captain. I'm Gareth Rees, delighted to be here. Joined by former English captain Rob Bickerman. And Rob, as just alluded to in the last interview, it's tough to get going in the morning here of day 2 of the 7th tournament, but you must at a World Cup.
Yeah, and I'll take a look at the last words that they said about this is the opportunity, isn't it? World Cups do not come around often. These teams playing on the biggest stage, and they'll be wanting to set their fans going back home. Uganda certainly one of the best supported teams online. They started so well against Samoa, getting that first try, then conceded.
Work hard. The fans have worked hard to get here. The Ugandans with a wonderful following. Again, had that incredible hope. As much 33 points to 7 in the end, they went down. Kickoff goes high. Well gathered by a Korean side that's traditionally very well organized, very clinical. Sometimes struggle just to break down defenses. We'll see how they go here up against this big, tough Ugandan side. Good width. Good hard running there. Korea plowing through, lost through, and then finally a chance for Junku Lee, but he couldn't get his hands on it, so Uganda's going to have possession. Kick and chase into space. There's no sweeper across in time. He gets a lovely bounce, although a little bit too line now. A very patient build-up from the Koreans. That one's been spilled forward. Advantage to Uganda, and they like this disrupted ball. Korean defense isn't in place. Good offloading out of the tackle. Kick and chase. There. Oh, doesn't get the second bounce for the second time today. Now he's won it back. Aaron Ofoiruth pushes it wide. First try is going to go to the big Ugandan, and that is Philippe Wokoroj. Nice moment for Uganda to get off in this one.
Well, just shows that from defence to attack. Uganda already probing the deep field with these kicks. Saw it first with Wokorach, not quite coming up for a foil that time. But then he gets the ball back, fortuitously finds the space out on the right. And of course, if you give the number 5 for Uganda the ball, it is a matter of time before Philip Wokorach gets over the line. We're disappointed not to kick on yesterday. Today, a new day.
Yeah, great celebrations here. Ofoiruth did well. A little bit of basketball to intercept the pass. The extra attempt by the try scorer just falls short. But it's party time here.
Oh, they're feeling the rhythm. The height from Ofoiruth's kick is going to be so pivotal to them getting this ball back.
It was up there for so long, no one could get it. Korea having to regroup. Oh, and the slip. And we've seen a lot of that. Virtually all the teams. Oh, and breaking right through the middle. Missed tackle. That's Jae Yu, 29-year-old. 9 a.m. here in Cape Town on a fairly overcast morning for the moment. I'm sure the sun will be beaming out as it was yesterday. And there's a penalty one for Uganda at the breakdown.
It's really good stuff. Targeting the ball, staying strong, and Ofoiruth gets to go now.
There's a real confidence about this team. They've been on the field quite a bit. That one goes forward out of the hand. There'll be no advantage. Team that's been on the field quite a bit lately. 7th in the Challenger Cup and 8th in the Commonwealth Games. And how exciting were they? I know
They did indeed. How about that? Desire Yero, who was wearing number 8, finished the game, ended up DJing.
That's multitasking at its best. The modern rugby player. That one's knocked out of the hands of Wang Min Kim. Oh, another dump tackle. This could be trouble. Referee's going to have a little chat here and maybe a card. Let's listen in. I don't know if that was an Afrikaans, but I think he took him above level. Rob, what's your take here? So Casito will spend 2 minutes in the sin bin. Janu to 7s, that's 7-minute halves, but 2 minutes.
I mean, we're talking...
Down safely, which is kind of ironic when you figure out what they're being coached to do. Good take off the top from Hunsu Kim. Now the attack builds. Of course, a one-man advantage for the men in white. That's Korea up against Uganda. Uganda have the early lead. Korea, presumably, Rob, you'd like to see them play with width here to capitalize on that advantage.
Exactly that. They've got a couple of key playmakers to the middle, need to find these gaps now. 3 defenders committed.
Quick ball away from Lee. Now they've got numbers. Good hands, but it's not gathered. Wonderful athleticism from Jae Yu. But now it's Uganda's time to sort of suck some time off this clock. Look at them even backing up. They love the offload, but a couple of rucks wouldn't go amiss here just to keep that time going. And the Korean arriving player not holding his own weight.
Plenty of space in behind as well. Korea with a man advantage, no sweeper though.
Oh, there's the fend, but sticking with it. Good defense. And a foot's in touch, I believe. Shame, but a really good.
Gonna look to try and make the most of it.
They put the extra set of hands as the hooker wraps around. Now there's a 2-on-1 for the moment, but again, a poor pass negates the advantage they created. Good help in defense there. And there's Chang again. He's got it in the right arm. He's looking to go to the sideline, but no, he's been nudged into touch.
Backwards into touch.
The Hooters sounded, and that'll do it for the first half. A tight affair here.
Okay,
Well, that's the unity of this Ugandan side, coached by Tobert Nyango, the great Kenyan. He's been at it for about a decade. He really is their first specialized sevens coach. Well, it's party here on day 2 in Cape Town. The Ugandans are celebrating at the moment a slim 5-point lead in a tight match here in the bowl quarterfinal between Uganda and Korea. But just some of the color we're going to see this weekend, Rob Dickerman.
Well, it totally is, Reece. We're starting early, but the party will continue throughout the day.
Here we go, and it will be Namuk Kim to get us underway with the restart. His left boot goes low and flat, a well-weighted kick, but not able to be gathered by Changju Kim. So the Koreans looking to their bench. Again, we mentioned Korea have had their share of possession, just haven't quite. Oh, what a tackle! Textbook stuff from Philippe Wakoroch. That's inspiration for his team. See if they can get this ball back. Again, the Ugandan physical presence, good, solid defense. The kick doesn't come up. Oh, sublime footwork. Awesome work from Aaron Ofoiroth. They're trying to kick again. Again, no sweeper in place. If he gets a bounce here, he's away. Once again, it just goes a little high. Really hard surface here, of course. Cape Town Stadium. The Hosetos won the penalty for his team.
That was brilliant steal. Fast action. Imnyani looking to keep this tempo going.
Ugandans back to full strength. Yeah, coming back off his right foot. High stepping. It was Okenye. They're going to go back for the advantage.
Yeah, that was a bad hit. We saw one yesterday in the Fiji game. It's a late charge with no arm wrap, and it was right on his shoulder. And that can be so painful because as soon as you pass, you relax your body a bit. He is a star player. Philip Walker actually needs to try and get through this if he can. As the ball was passed, the charge comes in late, and it's the top of his elbow. Yeah. That can dislocate shoulders.
Yeah, that could be a red card too, because there's intent there, right? There's absolutely no way he's keeping.
How good they go all day.
So, Ugandan attack. Casito gets it wide. Oh, good bosh there. Well, what a response to a possible cheap shot. Just drop his shoulder and give him some. Great work from Norbert Okenye.
That's what you got to do. Route 1. Norbert Okenye, see you later. That is a bump. Sit down. What a carry.
Great response on the second try for Kenya, even though it's out wide. Beautiful work from our crew. Hugs all around, 10-point lead, conversion to come. Sweet strike down the middle, that'll be 12. It's actually a drop and then a punt is really what you're trying to imagine. He's gone with a more conventional, doesn't quite get the height on it, and as such, Korea gets the ball. Contact in the air, quick tap for Korea.
Taking it in turns.
Yeah, the Koreans, of course, spent some time. They were at the Challenge Series, but a bulk of their squad spent some time in the United States preparing.
High performance alongside the Mike Fridays Eagles. It's going to get you better.
Good flat ball. Doesn't work, so they go back out to the space, but they've done their job. Oh, good work off the ball, creating an extra set of hands. Casito, he's been busy today in this one. There he goes again. A little bit more depth in the Ugandan attack. Aturinda, he's coming off the bench fresh, trying to make an impact here.
Tackle!
12 points to lead for Uganda with less than 2 minutes to go. In total control of this bowl quarterfinal at the moment. Oh, a 50-50 ball, but he's not able to hold on. Brilliantly read by the Korean, but he couldn't hang on. And he can see it there. Absolute disappointment for Chang. Watch how he gets a good read on it. He knows what's happening.
Oh, and he even gets the hands out, hits his chest. Always told us coaches, when you try and catch it, get your thumbs out next to each other, catch it. 12-0 up against Korea.
Quick flat ball to Wonyoung Kim. Danzi to his friends, his nickname after Zinedine Zidane. And Steph Curry is one of his favorite athletes. And the Ugandans are going to choose a scrum. And as we see the party go on, great weekend for Ugandan rugby last week. The RWC7s, where a lot of these players' clubs were at it. It was Cobbs versus Heathens. And quick hands now. The dying moments. We're in the pink numbers. So the next stoppage will do it unless it's a penalty. Tackle complete. 12-point lead should hold up. Again, a bit of a missed tackle from Korea. That's been an issue for them. Uganda maintaining possession. Happy to go backwards for the moment. The show and go from Foyroth. He's been busy in this match. And finally, they thought they had space up the side, but the referee's going to blow it there for a knock-on. And that will do it for this one. Yeah, full time. Down to Uganda in this one, 12 points to 0.
Yeah, thanks, Gareth. Yeah, Michael, congratulations on the win. What did you do to secure that victory?
Thank you very much. It's a better day today. We picked ourselves from yesterday's loss against Samoa. And I think today we just want to calm down the game and play our structure. And I think we got a very well-deserved win.
It's very early here, but you have a massive crowd that were going wild for you. Can you give them a message?
Absolutely. To all the fans who traveled down to SA, we appreciate you and thank you for coming to support Uganda. We believe in you and we're going to play for you all. Thank you.
Well, we love seeing you here. Enjoy the rest of your time here in Cape Town. All the best for the next one.
Thank you very much.
Well, what a great example of the pride. Here we are, Cape Town Stadium, Rugby World Cup 7s, 22. Hong Kong up against the Ugandans. This is the second bowl semi-final. We've just seen Germany book their place dramatically. The great Michael Ogoroch will captain this Ugandan side. And for Hong Kong, Seb Bryan and Russell Webb will share the duties.
And these teams, a bit of history. Max Denmark.
Here we go. They go for the short kickoff. Uganda in the orange jerseys, but it's claimed by Hong Kong. Hong Kong, the first Asian team to play in every Rugby World Cup 7s. And they've been penalized there for not releasing at the breakdown.
Trying to avoid that type of tension.
Well, you're rightly saying two great nations here. The Ugandans falling over themselves, literally. Huge part in the very successful Commonwealth Games. Great characters here on the African nation.
I mean, it was in Hong Kong. The pressure was too much for them.
Yeah, that qualifier to get a core spot on the HSBC World Series. That really is the big difference maker. Uruguay won that right in Santiago last month. Hong Kong now chasing this kick through. Well gathered. The looping run out of his own end. Deciding to come back and regroup. Good sevens rugby from the Ugandans. Smart rugby. And they've created the overlap. Casito with his hands on it. He's back himself. Still going. The crowd are cheering him on. 22 meters to go. Adrian Casito responds for Uganda.
They're not obliged to put the ball down instantly. Styles making his way back to just politely ask him to. The crowd love it. The supporters back home will be loving it. And Casito, from his own try line, gets chance with a 4-on-1 to cut back off the left, stride through the middle, backs his pace, and Casito takes it to the house.
Well, you can see what inspired those fans in Birmingham recently at the Commonwealth Games. They ended up 8th there, but were really fan favorites. Extra conversion right in front, and that'll give them the lead. Just over 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Uganda kick long. Be careful this doesn't go dead. I think it is just going to trickle over the line. That'll be a Scrum midfield. Here they go inside the 22. Ankle tap.
Side entry.
Side entry.
Side entry.
By the Ugandans. Another penalty. They're starting to mount up a little bit.
Got to have that discipline, Uganda, giving the ball away to Hong Kong. All too close to their try line.
Set play for Hong Kong, straight off the training pitch. See what develops. Kamshing is brought down, and it's been turned over. It won't end because of the penalty. Quick tap now from Munyani. They're looking to explode. They can change pace very quickly, this Ugandan side.
Especially with this guy.
Dancing with the sideline, keeps it alive. Foyruth in a supporting role, he kicks midfield. Not sure about that tactic, it might pay off. Oh, textbook covering from McKinley West. And they're going to get the ball off the park and start the second half again. Webb's had enough. Well, chances for both sides. Right now at halftime, it is the African nation, Uganda, up 7 points to 5 over Hong Kong. Ugandan coaching staff, of course, Tolbert and Nyago, the head coach, very experienced, played a lot of his rugby for Kenya. Been coaching this side now for over 10 years.
A lot of Ugandan media and support feel that this year was their year. The Challenger Series so close, that heartbreak against Germany, that took them a fair while to get over. People like Philip Walker-Rat's just in shot here. Pivotal to the success of this team. Concentrate on their sevens.
Talking about this thing every time. Let's sort it out. Let's get this one. 1, 2.
Well, there really is, as you said, the powerful lifting pod there for Uganda. See if the kick comes their way. The left boot of Russell Webb hangs it right high. Awkward lift, but a clean take. Uganda skipping out wide. And why not when this man causes so many problems for the defense? Philip Walker-Roach. Nice reverse ball in there for his cousin, Michael.
Well, Sound of Foyworth not able to hold it though, but disappointed with that.
Bind.
And they're really growing their game.
Yeah. Let him get his bind up. Yeah. It's the one we said you get here. Crouch.
Here we go.
Bind. Sit.
Clean ball. Hong Kong, as we said, have had a lot of their hands on the ball, but they needed this kind of incursion provided there with great footwork from Harry Sayers, fresh off the bench. 4 pass behind has killed the momentum for the moment. The Ugandan's able to set up the defensive wall. Spinning around is Callum McCulloch.
Holding on.
He just held on a little bit too long.
Well, Foyworth is pumped. Usually he's the catalyst for attacking play. At the moment, he's all defence. Last 5 in this game.
Okay, sloppy line out.
Yeah. Lock on in the line out first.
Well, he said yeah, because it's a great part of the refereeing system as they get help courteously, not only have an earpiece in to hear from their officials, but also wear the microphone, which just helps us and allows them to be really a third commentator, especially on the sevens game. That one's gone straight to hand. Huge miss for Hong Kong. It's going to be turned into points for Uganda. Under the post for Norbert Okene, straight off the bench, straight in the try zone.
Well, he's backed it up sensationally in the last game. He's got the crowd going again once more. Norbert Okene, all smiles amongst his countrymen, and rightly so. This is a gift he will love to receive. Off he goes. You got the full crowd enjoying your moves. got the pistons flying. The smiles are on the face and the crowd adding the decibels.
That one is easy for Philippe Walkerod. Party time. Will that be enough? It's a 9-point advantage. Hong Kong needing 2 scores. The matadors, it's being called, where you kind of pull the cape away from them and there's nothing to hit.
And these laws have really been accentuated in the last few months, but you might have 10, 15 years of experience of really clattering that, thinking it's okay to, so it's a bit of time to adjust.
It won't matter now. That one's gone forward off the Ugandan hand. The crowd thought he was free for a second, but they'll bring it back.
Sorry about that.
Sit!
Hong Kong need a miracle. They need 2 scores. She said Sayers off the bench has been at least energetic. The offload not quite to hand. Good pressure from Uganda. Nice tackle there from Casito. He's done it in attack and he's doing it in defense there. Wrapping around Seb Ryan, the skipper. He's giving it his all. That's knocked down by Uganda. Surely that's a penalty, but they've got their hands on it. The hooter sounds here.
Ball is out.
And the referee deemed that one to be out as well. So
Not rolling away, 5.
with that penalty, they're going to attack quickly. That's the spirit of this Ugandan side. They want to score. More tries.
Kick it out.
The cartoon slip out there. Hong Kong, one last chance. That one's gone forward off a hand. It'll be a penalty. I don't really think it should be a yellow here, but it will be. So, into the injury time, as it were. 7 Hong Kong players against 6 Ugandans.
I guess that's why you get the crowd on your side. Loved around the world. The game's over, but they still want to play.
This is it. Great spirit. Denmark looking out wide, but also went off the right foot, and nobody bought it. Not least of which was the big man.
5, too slow.
Who has been superb in this one, Philippe Walkerod. Another steal. And another pass. They're going to kick it out eventually through the back. And the the Ugandan fans will go nuts. Maybe the Kenyans will as well. African brotherhood down here. Exhausted players. But a big win for Uganda over Hong Kong. 14 points to 5. Well, lots more of these scenes. To day 3. The Germans in blue went ahead, but the Ugandans came back and tied it up. So all to play for. There's hardware on the line.
Straight out,
that kick goes straight out, a costly air. Tobert and Yango, they'll have a set piece move that they like, that is their preferred. Here we go. Back 10 meters. Now the movement should start off the ball. Not a ton of movement, it must be said. Fairly predictable attack there. Gone to one sideline, trying to get the right personnel in the right places, but it doesn't matter if you can't hold on to the ball. But it's paid off. The bobble ball has meant Adrian Casito has got through. He's gone straight to deck. But 4 Kenyans in the ruck. It's not going to leave a lot of options out wide. So wisely,
No tackles, so play
Michael Okoroch comes back. Well, now they're using the power game in the narrow channel, and it's paid off. Michael Okoroch over in the corner. We're going to have a look, but try given for Uganda. They take the lead.
The flair of Uganda coming to life. You know, this is what we've missed. This is what we're looking for. The old show and go, handoff, and just the presence to know there's someone outside. Important to know, you know, keep the ball in the left hand. You can fend off with the right.
Oh, look at that strike. Bit of a wounded duck, but the points count. That's good. 25 into 7.
Doesn't have to be pretty to be good.
especially when you're going to the corner flag. You're getting all the angles here in this one, the bowl final in Cape Town. Off his feet, and once again, Norwood Okenye.
Sorry. Okay, that's okay. Last step over, please.
Yeah, it's always important. You know, there's so much frustration, there's so much energy. What just happened? Yeah, it's just a let's this.
But with 4 minutes to go, Germany will have the ball on their own 22.
Set.
That scrum means 3 Ugandans will be tied in for the moment. Wrapping around. Extra set of hands doesn't really pay off. Now there's an open man, and there he is off the bench. I should say the Germans have quite a light bench to call on. Max Kalitz and Tim Lichtenberg, both not available through injury in this one. So I wonder if that will pay off in the last 2-3 minutes here, when the legs and the lungs are burning. Bang! Right there, physical presence and a big clean out. Referee wants to take it through the mark.
Holding on, clear lift.
The Germans, you know.
A bit of a banana kick. Here's the big carry and then the clean out.
You know, he was so quick on the ball. I think he got his fingertips on the ball.
Will cheat either side of that,
yeah,
as much as they can.
You wait for the reset. You wait for the reset and you reset again.
The throw doesn't go to hand, so Germany a chance to tie this one up. Ellerman in full flight, down the sideline, backs his pace, doesn't even need his strength, and he's in the corner. He slips, which may make this conversion even more difficult.
Great finish. He backed himself, he put his ears back, and he decided, you know what, I need to run in one. Unfortunately, couldn't get all the way behind the poles. But look at this, you know, Germany just being patient, giving it when you need to give it. You know, he would be shouting, give it first time. He gave it first time, the second time. Nudged him off, and the pace was too much.
And the conversion is off, so that slip may be costly. The Germans down 2 points at the moment. But lots of time, a minute and a half to play here. As it won't be the last time we'll say it today, Chris, but restart's so important.
You know, restarts is but a turnover differential, and that and a defense stat, that's what's going to win you games.
The high kick, is it too far? 50-50 ball. May have gone off a German hand, it has, so advantage being played to Uganda.
Advantage over.
They've decided to play with it. Yeah, wisely coming back infield, hurdling the defender and putting on the gas. Okoroch just brought down short. What an offload. Keeps the play alive. Ian Munyani in the corner.
That could seal it for Uganda. The old flick of the wrist. The hurdle. And then just the vision. He scoops it up so perfectly. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, look at that. That's Michael Okoroch, the 32-year-old, hurdling like that. Straight over the top of Bastian van der Bosch.
Well, we've still got the kick to come.
You can sense the celebrations coming, and they may end up with yet another try. Well, this is the spirit of this Ugandan side. They love the game. Been a huge contributor to Sevens rugby. 3 African titles to their name, and they're now going to add a bowl victory here at the Rugby World Cup of Sevens. Well, after some bad news late last night for African Rugby Sevens fans with the the Blitzbok going down, Uganda are starting day 3 here with a great result for them, but credit this German side not quitting. They've won an advantage. Now they've got the hands. They'll come back for the penalty. The game won't end on that. Lineout's good for Germany. Extra set of hands wrapping around his cock. He goes out the back door, but doesn't get the width he needed. Lots of work to do for Bastian van der Bosch. They're behind the back. Beautiful way to finish. But that one's going to roll into touch. And a celebration kick from the Ugandans. Look what it means to them. The fighter is loving it, and his teammates arriving to celebrate the bowl championship.
Thank you very much.
What a result. Uganda 19, Germany 12. Big celebrations on the sideline, trying to get someone to talk to. And Chris Try, important win for your African neighbors.
Yeah, it's a very important win, and for both teams, just being on the world stage, you know, getting this opportunity to play high level octane rugby.